just tapped on topics.
And now we are tapped on.
So, what was our topic that we wanted to do? Oh, AI. That'll be the next. But we're live, so I just announced that. Hey, everyone. Let me log in really quickly.
Hey, everyone. Testing out a slightly new setup today. Not the background or anything, but my camera. See how it goes. I feel like I'm in more high def, except still not really. Because I can only make the resolution so high, but way better than my computer camera.
Let's see. Where'd this go? There's Roy. Hey, Roy.
Which means hopefully when I
We're
clip
live.
these videos, they won't be blurry.
Here I am.
Here
Just
you
walking
are.
to my car.
Welcome. No problem. So,
Are we live yet?
Yes, we
are
are
live. So, we are live. I'm just finding the link because I don't know if it went live on. So apparently, okay, it has gone live on LinkedIn, but apparently LinkedIn has not been very kind to LinkedIn
let people
Lives.
know when we're live.
And it's actually
you're so polite about this. You're so polite about this. There's another way to say it, but it's very kind of you to be so polite.
LinkedIn, get it together.
I am on life probation with LinkedIn, so I try to
life probation, is that what you just called it?
My probation for life. So I just try to balance that. I don't know why you'd be hiding us. Let's see here. We are live. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. Coolio. Perfect. Yeah. So apparently LinkedIn has been hiding LinkedIn Lives. It hasn't been alerting or burying them deep. You can't even find them on. Even Shell went on a scavenger hunt for our LinkedIn Lives and even had trouble finding them. So her own.
Yeah, big issue.
Yeah, so I think it's, I know we've got a couple people watching, so welcome. We'll do introductions here. We're just getting started. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, this is LinkedIn 101, Becoming the LinkedIn Rockstar. And Adrian, welcome. Thank you. Definitely, if you're watching, drop a hello really quickly so that we know you're there. We'd love to know who's watching and where you're from and all that fun stuff. But yeah, so LinkedIn Live, Shell shared with me, Jillian Whitney, who does quite a lot of LinkedIn Lives, has noticed, or you read the full post. I perused. So, but basically is hiding LinkedIn Lives from the audiences, which is ironic.
Not showing up in people's activity until after the event has happened.
Yes. And not showing up in posts that are on your own personal profile. So if you host one, not showing up there. And yeah, that's a little bit of a problem when you're doing these things because you want an audience, and we do for the audience, obviously, and us transitioning. Hey, Meryl, from audio events, the now defunct audio events. LinkedIn doesn't make it easy for us, so gotta love the platform. So yeah, so let's just do some introductions. Roy, we'll start with you. You can introduce yourself first, and Shell will then hop over to you.
Thank you so much. As you can see, I'm in the car. It's Friday morning at 9 o'clock. My name is Roy Kowalski, and I call myself the promotional product disruptor. And the reason that I do this is I assist small to medium-sized companies, having worked with Fortune 500 companies for the last 15 years, with their branding and marketing, helping them with visibility and brand awareness. And I utilize LinkedIn as a means to share my story, to showcase what I do, and to show how I overcome challenges for my customers. So that's what I do on LinkedIn, and I'm thrilled to be part of this Rockstar 101 with my two friends, Mel and Shell. My name is Roy, and I'm out.
Thanks,
Thank
Roy.
you, Roy. Shell, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. I'm Shell, your friendly LinkedIn cheerleader here. Not Spider-Man by any means. I don't know why it came out like that. And what I'm here to do is to help you engage better on the platform so that you can have more of the conversations that matter to you. And when I mean engage better, what I really mean, and should probably say, I should probably take better out of my vocabulary, right? I mean engage more effectively. So that you're clear on your intention, why you're showing up on this platform, what you're here to do, and every step of the way you're taking aligned actions to work toward those goals. And so really that is what effective engagement can look like for you, and that is what I'm here to cheer you on to do. So Mel, how about you introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I am Melanie Mitchell Wexler. I am both a career coach as well as a LinkedIn strategist. And so, as a LinkedIn strategist, my goal is to help you be found, seen, and heard on this platform and to show you all the little tips and tricks on how you can connect with everyone. So, today we're going to keep it kind of light. We're just going to do a Q&A, ask us anything type of format. So, keep the questions coming. Linda Brubaker has already started with 2 questions, so we appreciate it. First question was, hey, is LinkedIn trying to get rid of LinkedIn Lives? I don't think they are. I would hope not. I mean, who knows? I mean, I say that and I'll probably jinx us, right, Roy? But
Knock on wood.
but I
the crazy
probably. Oh, go ahead, Roy.
Now, saying the crazy part is, they shut down the LinkedIn audio. So that those that participated in it, they really enjoyed it. And then they said, we want to migrate you across to LinkedIn Lives. And then they put some, new challenges in place. It defies all logic that, that you can close one down, and then you make the other avenues so difficult that it almost, people say, I don't even know if I should be doing this. So today's a good whinging day. It's a good day to whinge, moan and groan. How's that?
Ooh, whinge. That's an Aussie term, is it not? So I love learning little Aussie terms. So y'all have a different language than the rest of us.
Y'all, okay.
Do you use?
We don't use whinge, I can tell you that.
What do you use?
Oh, you break it up. There you go. Oh.
What terminology do you use?
What else would we use for that, Shell?
Bitch and moan.
Yes, bitch and moan. That's all we got for you. So, but I like whinge. I like that. It's a nice little term that is something you all can walk away with today. So, to Linda's question, no, I don't think they're going to get rid of it. I do think we're undergoing some changes right now. So I do know earlier this week, and I'll be very honest, guys, I'm in a little bit of work. Well, I'm up to my knees in work right now, which is, definitely a good thing. But so I haven't really been perusing too much, but Leah Turner did a post. So if you're on your phone, you had the little, down at the bottom, the video scroll, like you had the option to look at videos. Supposedly they're changing that. Some of us still have it.
That's gone.
I still have it.
So I still have it. See, it's interesting because I think US people have it, but I know like Bobby Umer doesn't have it. You don't have it. A lot of people in other countries don't have it, which is interesting. Yeah. So usually when something like that's happening, that there's some sort of either rollout or changes that are coming, which is my guess as to why there's probably been glitches with LinkedIn Lives. I'm just making assumptions here, but somewhat go hand in hand, just probably in the same at least in the same floor of LinkedIn, in the imaginary world of where I think people
You mean
work
because
in
all
LinkedIn.
video of LinkedIn lives on the same floor? It's the video
Yeah,
floor?
I just think they
Okay.
all live on the same floor in the office building. That these people imagine, I believe that they just work on the same floor in this imaginary office building in LinkedIn. I mean, they do have offices, but I just think they all work on the same floor, and Lord knows what they're telling each other. So I don't think they're going to get rid of it, but I do think that and we do know there's changes coming. Like there's going to be a different type of video feed in our feed. Again, I don't have that. I still have the video feed at the bottom, which by the way, I never look at. And because if I'm on my phone doing something on LinkedIn, I'm usually not commenting, posting anything on my phone unless it's a video or something I have on my phone. I don't do my work on LinkedIn. I do it on my laptop. What about you two? How do you guys function with LinkedIn? Laptop, phone? Where do
I
you
go
do
back and
most of the
forth.
work?
Honestly, I go back and forth all day long. And if I wasn't testing out using my phone right now as a webcam, which you can probably see I have better quality video today, then I would be on my phone right now too, commenting right along with the live to make it more interactive. So today I don't have my phone in my hands while we're live here, but yeah, normally I do use a bit of both. And so what I can tell you from my end is one, I do still have that video tab on my phone. I do use that tab a little bit. It's not my go-to thing, but I do look at videos and scroll from my phone. And the way that videos seem to appear from my phone, and I've seen this with other like video creators specifically, who have talked more about this, where that video feed has changed while you're scrolling, not necessarily using the video tab, but where like you no longer see the beginning of the text post that goes along with the video at the before the video. You see it more like you would see it on TikTok or Instagram, where like you see the one little line of the headline at the very bottom of the video, but you have to click into the video to see more. So I have been seeing that a lot more as I'm scrolling on my phone. I also see an occasional video feed pop up, similar to what I see in my Instagram feed. Um, I'm not on TikTok, so I can't confirm there if that's what it looks like there too, where it's giving me other suggested videos from other creators I might be interested based on what I've liked. Now on my computer, when I'm scrolling through video and when I'm scrolling through the feed, it goes back and forth whether or not I'm seeing that initial text post first before the video or if it's just at the bottom of the video. And that seems for me, since it's a mix of both, to be like the main thing that they're figuring out right now. But like again, this is all just speculation based on what I'm seeing, which I know is different than what Melanie is seeing, which I know is different from what Roy is seeing. And as
Let me
far
ask
as
you this. Oh,
yeah,
go ahead,
you
Chuck.
as far as the LinkedIn lives are concerned, honestly, yeah, I hope in my brain they're on the same floor too of the LinkedIn building. But I want to give them the benefit of the doubt that I don't think that they're doing anything to like make changes. I just think that it's kind of like forgotten or like in the background at the moment while they prioritize other things. So that's probably why it's not as prominent in our activity feeds.
And I do think that I have a lot of thoughts on those videos. I mean, but I can say, we do have a rock star that, Roy has actually gotten his video to be seen on the reel through that feed before. How are your videos performing lately, Roy?
Um, well, first of all, I've got a different take about them being on the same floor. I think they different locations, and the one has got no idea what the other one's doing.
Well, that is true. Um, and that'll lead us to the next question. But I do want to say a shout out to Meryl, who, when we were whinging about the video feed, he got kicked off twice. So,
And gave us a definition of whinge.
and gave us a definition of whinge. And I think that that just further proves that the LinkedIn gods are always listening. So,
Like you want
which
you
is
want to
Yeah.
whinge, we'll give
why
you something to whinge about.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
they're treating Meryl poorly. So let's just poor Meryl.
Yeah.
Sorry,
He's
Meryl.
our guinea pig there. But to
So
the reason
let
of
me back.
oh, go ahead.
Let me so let me go back to the question you actually asked me. Is as you know, I'm extremely heavily invested in video content, and I got to tell you this that um, even when the influencers that I know on LinkedIn are complaining about the reach that their videos get, I'm finding that I'm getting the same reach across the board, and I do think it's because of the consistency of being on with videos, and also because I follow the format that they suggested, and I follow it religiously as to how it's going to be. And then the third thing that I just wanted to share, I learned from some of the top voices that in your content, when you're talking to the video, that I've started to doing. I've been doing this now for about maybe 2 months. Is I talk about 3 takeaways or 3 insights or 3 tips, and that is as elevate. I noticed yesterday that a video post that I did was highlighted in LinkedIn News. I've had 14 of these now in the last probably 6 months. And that it's 1,000 odd. I saw it was like 29,000 impressions. So they definitely they promote the video over the other content. So that's what I'm seeing. Thank you.
Yeah, we do know that video, and that's why I don't think they would take away LinkedIn Live. I do think because they are promoting video. I do want to say I have scheduled a video to come out next Wednesday, I think it is. I know that's shocking. I'm actually using some of the tools that I pay for, which is a good thing. But to Linda's
Is it the one
second
I sent to
question,
you?
I actually need you to. I'll just ask you now. I need you to send it. I couldn't download it in the message, so but that's going to be my next one that I share. So, but I actually used some from our recordings of last week. But that all being said, is yeah. So Sherilyn mentioned that LinkedIn is getting rid of video. That's why Go Brunch is taking off. I don't know. I think they're reformatting the video. They won't get rid of it because they've become too
But
invested. They really are emphasizing video producing videos as content. They have been really producing that. I think they're just reformatting right now how it shows up in the feed. I think that's where I think they're pivoting.
yeah, Mel,
Roy,
I
you
wonder
had
if I can maybe just on the back of what you've just said now. So because I'm in this content creator with the LinkedIn staff, and because one of my video posts was highlighted, that's the one that got ridiculous amount of impressions. They've given a directive to all their staff that they have to do videos. How's that? So I don't believe that this is going to be phased out. There's no ways they would be so heavily invested and then like a month later, no more videos. No. So I think it's just they're repositioning themselves in such a way to come with something else. But videos is not going anywhere.
and I think that's a great insight to know what they're directing. That's always a great, like, if you can, if and here's those little tips of like knowing some things that are coming, what it looks like we don't know, but if they're emphasizing to their staff, we want you to do this, and I can tell you I've seen a lot of their news editing staff do this, then that indicates that's where their push is going to be. Now, to Linda had a second question, which I'll go ahead and answer that question now, and then we'll come to impressions and engagement. So Linda's second question was, how did I get on probation for life by LinkedIn? So quick story, a couple, Roy's already laughing. We can laugh about it now. Wasn't laughing about it several years ago. So I
I'm
got
laughing.
yes. I got kicked off of LinkedIn. I infamously landed in LinkedIn jail. I didn't land just in the like local county jail. I like went to supermax prison is really what happened with me. I apparently committed, I don't know. But it was a long story. It involved a person that was basically being very vengeful in her actions. And because you can report people, and a lot of it is automated, and this is why I know that the right hand does not speak to the left hand, is because I went through a very extensive, I really truly thought I was never going to get back on this platform. I was told that by that from legal. I had to involve a legal team. I'm not technically on the most wanted list because I was arrested. Um, this will be great Opus Clips content, Shell. Um, so, but I was told that if I ever had another
Take me away.
offense, that I would be permanently banned off the platform. So I try to be a good LinkedIn citizen. I try to go by the rules. I tell LinkedIn gods all the time, I love you. Thank you so much for all that you do for me and my business. Thank you for bringing these two amazing people, plus everybody that's watching, into my life. I truly appreciate that. So I'm all filled with gratitude. But yeah, I had to go through a very extensive process. A lot of it was grit and determination. That was honestly how I ended up back on it. Also had to threaten to sue LinkedIn. By the way, they are very responsive when you use certain language to that. And because it wasn't rightful for the way that because I was being attacked by somebody that was also hurting, that was attacking me on, that was attacking my business and messaging people, friends, and even my daughter. Like, it got nasty, and I don't want to get into that. But yeah, it was, but I learned a lot about what happens on the back end of things. And like, one person would approve me to get back in, and then a person the next day would say, nope, you're not back in. We're going to push you back out. I think I was back in for like 24 hours, then got pushed out. And then you couldn't see you couldn't see my profile, but I was still on the platform. It was a mess. It taught me about, not having all my eggs in one basket. But it also, it definitely scarred me for a while, because I didn't actually post for after I got back on, I didn't post for like 60 days. So, and anytime it glitches, I still have PTSD where I think I've been kicked off the platform. So there's the story of like why and I was basically told, yes, if you commit another crime, you're off of it, lady. You're back in the supermax prison. So,
And
yeah,
that
I try to be a good
during
Rockstar.
that time though, that was when you really started leaning into engagement more. So
Yes. So for that 60 days, I did not post content. I did not want anybody seeing me. I didn't want but that is really where, honestly, the good came out of that, was the fact of I followed Judy Fox's advice. I took 60 days where I only engaged. I never made a single post. And I only engaged, and I will tell you this, that's the turning point for me. And when I started getting more notice, not only with numbers, but also by potential clients, and getting traction in that way. So it actually, there's always good that, you have to go through the muck of the mud or whatever. There's a saying, something, I just made something up, but, you have to go through all that to get to the good part. So it really forced my hand on the engagement piece. And I did come out like way stronger, much more confident in my engagement strategy, but also understanding how things, really getting a better feel for content and how to engage with content. But yeah, let's talk about engagement and impressions. So Linda was saying hers are down. I saw a post from Deanna Russo saying hers were way down. I'll be very honest. I kind of felt good that my numbers were relative to hers. So, if I see those people above me and I'm like, oh, I'm not that, that bad. But that all being said, Shell, when it comes to the engagement and the impressions, why should we keep pushing forward even if the numbers are down?
Look, the numbers have a lot to do with the algorithms, right? And we already know that they're always changing. We never know exactly how they're changing in real time. We always find out later from the Richard Vanderblooms of the world, right? Like, so we don't know in the moment what's going on with the way that they're pushing out our content. But what you can tell from the views and impressions, and even the watch time on videos, you can really start to see, all right, who are the recurring people that keep liking and commenting on and engaging with my posts? Like, who are these super supporters that keep coming back, that always cheer me on and like and reinforce my content? And once you'll start to see a trend of like the same people who keep coming back. That's great news, because then LinkedIn's like still awake, and knows that these people especially are wanting to see more of your content. So guess what? They're going to keep seeing your content in their feed. And then the more that they engage with it, the more that LinkedIn's going to be like, okay, something's going on here. We're going to keep pushing it out. So I always take a look at like, who are those recurring supporters that regularly show up, even if it's not on every single time. The other thing to look at is like, who are the unique people that are showing up, and like then taking a look at, okay, are these people who maybe occasionally or like very rarely like my posts? Why? Maybe start thinking about what led them to see this post. Did they find it through the feed, which LinkedIn now tells you? Did they find it through search? Did they find it through somebody else's activity? Like, how did they come across that? And then go creep on their profiles a little bit and look and see, is this somebody that I want to have more of a conversation with? Could I possibly help them? Could they possibly help me? Do I think they're about to pitch me into something and that's why they went and checked me out? Like, go do some research and investigative work. That word just didn't roll off the tongue very well there, but like, go be a detective and look at what that data and those impressions are telling you. Are these your ideal clients, people from your target audience, people you want to have more conversations with? Are they your super supporters? Can you then go and like their stuff or comment and engage on their stuff and thank them for it, or do it more privately? You can really lean in and get a lot of it. Even if your impressions are down, you can still get a lot of information from the views, the likes, the impressions, the comments, and see like, all right, who are these people? And if they're not people that you want to have more conversations with, what can you do to either tweak your content, tweak your posting schedule? Maybe it means you need to post at a slightly different time or day or what have you. Or maybe you need to put it out in different ways. Maybe the format needs to be a little different in order for it to land better. Go look at like what it is and see how it's doing. And if it's not reaching the people that you want to reach, ask yourself why and what can I do to improve that. Don't just solely rely on the algorithm and LinkedIn to push it out for you.
I will also say, and this is something that Roy's really good at, DMs are really underrated. DMs are a great way to also drive traffic to your profile, but also to your post and things of that nature. So, Roy, how do you, I think we've shared this before, but it relates to some things that Shell was saying, like in terms of how you engage with the audience that engages with your post.
Well, first of all, let me say that there's one word that we haven't added into the mix here, and that's the word consistency. I know it's an overused word, but it's probably the single most important word of LinkedIn, is to show consistency in what you do. And why do I say that? Is because I've had numerous experiences in the last short space of time. I got an email from somebody that said, I saw your video brochure post 3 years ago and I'm ready to purchase now. When can we have a chat? Now, here's my point. This is not that I got a sale out of LinkedIn. It's that somebody saw my video brochure post 3 years ago, and I'm doing them every week. So at some point, it's going to take place. So answer your question, strategy that I follow is whoever comments on my posts, whoever views my profile, whoever follows me, I go and do a little research on them. And the first thing that I do is I send them, I go and look at their profile, and then I go to their content and I do a little bit of engagement, and then I generally will follow them. So I'll start off with a follow, and then I'll wait for about a week if there's any response in any way. And if not, which a lot of the times people don't respond to you following them, I then send them a DM. As I send them a connection request with a note. I just want to stress one very important thing. I do not send a connection request to anybody without a note. Let me repeat myself. I do not send a connection request to anybody. ANYBODY. Nobody gets a connection request from me without a note. And here's the point. Is in that note, I want to show them that I've followed their content because I refer to it. I say, thank you so much for this particular post, this, and I thought this was a really valid point, and I would like to be connected with you. And I would say that upwards of 90% of those people connect because I've shown them the context in why I want to connect with them, and I've showed them the relevancy of the connection that I'm asking for. I don't just connect with them. When that comes back, I generally will send a video message to them. And I wrote a post about this last week. I took the video that I use to personalize, and I wrote a post about it with some of the takeaways. And here's the point, is that I got to tell you that you cannot believe how many people have never seen a video direct message before. It's not possible, but it's true. I've got the message say, wow, first time I've ever heard this. Wow, I can't believe it. You've done a personalized video. Let me repeat it. Personalized video. I don't send a video to say, it comes from a generic source. It says, hey, Mel, thanks so much for connecting. Hey, Shell, happy that we connected. And that's the strategy that I follow. And so based on that, I have a reasonable reach. And I'm not even a LinkedIn expert. I'm a business owner. But what I've seen is the consistency of showing up with content, the consistency of engaging with others, and not forgetting the huge underutilized value of the DMs. My name is Roy, and I'm out.
I think that is.
If I had a mic, I would drop it, so I'm just going to drop that instead. But that was a tube of lotion, but it served this purpose. I'll do it again just for effect.
It's a great
mic drop moment.
There you go. No, but I think to me, Roy is very interesting in the sense that he has had a lot of great success on this platform, but quote unquote, he's not a LinkedIn expert. And I think one of the things is his consistency. So in terms of like the engagement, when quote unquote, when impressions are down, I don't really worry about it, to be very honest with you. I know right now where I'm not showing up, like I am not engaging nearly as much as I normally might, or being very conscious about it. So yeah, my numbers are going to be down because I'm not driving. The engagement piece can drive people to your profile. The engagement piece then from there, okay, who looked at my profile? Let me reach out to you. Let me start a DM conversation. I just did that with somebody that I'm connected with, but I was like, hey, I saw that you checked out my profile. Is there anything that, caught your eye, or is there anything I can do to help you? He was like, oh, I saw like 2 of your posts. And again, Meryl and I had a side conversation on Tuesday about lurkers that I got. I was doing LinkedIn mastery and then got into a conversation that was happening on LinkedIn about lurkers and we're going to have more about that conversation in another setting I'm going to do with America. But one of the things that he never commented on a post, he never liked a post, like nothing. But he was like, no, and they were really helpful. And I was like, oh, that's great. Do you remember which ones? Because if you like that, that's always helpful for me to know what you're connecting with. And so we had that conversation, but that shows me that, okay, people are seeing your posts. People are definitely, and it's just a matter of taking it to that next level and checking the people that are following you. I underutilize that aspect. I focus more on the people that have viewed my profile, but I could definitely do more with the people that have followed me. And then having conversations with those. We don't really need 1,001 people to I mean, if you're a business owner, there's only so much limit that you're going to need in terms of return on your investment, so to speak, right? Roy's going into the office, so he'll be back. I just have to make sure I pay attention when he gets logged back in. But we really don't need, like Shell and I as coaches, we're not at a space where we could take on, if 100 people, we'd probably figure it out, but we're not necessarily needing 100 clients right now, right? So it's not like we need these dramatic, so everybody gets caught up in the impressions and that. But even as a job seeker, you don't it's like you need like maybe ideally like 5 strong leads for jobs. 10 strong leads, oh, there he is, he was quick, it would be overwhelming. So that's the thing that, it's not about these huge large numbers feed our ego, and obviously the more reach, the better it is, but we don't necessarily need those high numbers to turn those into conversations that are worthwhile. Now, Sherilyn had a question a while back to explain kind of why when we create content, it doesn't necessarily go out to all of our audience. And so that's related, Sherilyn, to the algorithm. And I shouldn't just say algorithm. There are multiple algorithms that run consecutively, 6 or 7 of them. They all do different things. I'm not a tech person, but basically what LinkedIn looks for is content that's resonating with people when you post. So it doesn't necessarily go out to every single person because, one, they also may recognize that those people are not active. So we also have to do a deeper dive into our audience and who our connections are. Is the connections that we have, is that the right audience? And so to me, there's layers of like, if we're not getting engagement and impressions, I sometimes think it's not always about the content. It's more about like, okay, who is the audience that we have? So there's this lovely thing called the golden hour. And I'll have Shell explain that a little bit more about like how LinkedIn responds to how it kind of responds if a post is being received positively.
How does LinkedIn respond if posts are being received positively? One always wonders that. But so I hate numbers. So bear with me here as I just throw things at you a little bit. But not spaghetti on the wall, throw things at you. There's a rhyme and reason here. When you post something, LinkedIn's not going to show it to your entire audience, which Melanie just she mentioned that. I want to emphasize that LinkedIn's not going to just share all your stuff with everyone in your network. It's going to choose a select number of people. I can't give you an exact percentage again because I don't like numbers and I don't want to make them up. And then it's going to wait for a little while to see if anybody actively goes and looks at it or sees it, engages with it, likes it, comments on it, or if anything is happening with it. If stuff is happening with it, then LinkedIn goes out and pushes it to another percentage, that next layer, that next tier of people in your network that it thinks might want to see it too. At the same time that that's happening, LinkedIn is, for those initial people that liked, engaged, viewed it, what have you, LinkedIn is going to push it out to their networks as well. So you're starting to amplify your reach, and again, in no specific percentages, although Richard Vanderbloom may have the answer for that a little bit more specifically. Like, it goes out in waves. It's like, okay, let me see if things have anything happens with this. I'll talk in terms of waves. Then I like that. Take it back to my branding there. It goes out in waves. LinkedIn's going to push out the first round, see how it does. It's going to come back in. It's going to push it out again to that next round if it goes anywhere. And it's going to keep doing that. The more people that interact with it, like it, view it, engage with it, comment on it, share it with people, repost it, the more that LinkedIn is going to then push it out to more and more people. And along the way, there's also another current that's taking place where it's funneling it out to your network to those second degree connections, to the third degree connections, which is why when you're scrolling through your feed, you may regularly see so and so liked this post or so and so commented on this post. You're not just seeing the people in your network, you're seeing the people that your network is connected to. And that's because LinkedIn has deemed that, like, okay, people are wanting to see this, we're going to share it with more people, and then it filters in. Now, again, I don't know the exact percentages. Sorry, I'm just not a numbers person. But hopefully that answers your question a little bit more completely, Mel. Back over to you.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. So, um, keep your questions coming, guys. Just keep dropping them in the chat. We'll make sure that we're trying to answer them as our best of our ability. Really just having a very light conversation today, talking about all things LinkedIn, but, of course, want to answer any specific questions, challenges, or anything that you might be currently experiencing and that you need assistance with. One thing that Sandra did mention is that if she is out of personalized invitations, she'll interact with their posts. She'll send them a personalized message, and that's a great way to be able to like what we call a workaround, overcoming that, and being able to, if you run out of personalized messages on the free plan, then a great way is interacting on their posts and saying, hey, I really love this. I'd love to connect with you. I'm going to send you a connection request. The other key here is when people do interact with your posts, it is very important that you respond to them. Keep the conversation going. Ask them a follow-up question. Keep that momentum, because that's also it's basically a snowball effect. We're building the snowball in creating this post in terms of going, making it larger, making it bigger. So those are all the things that you want to, how do you, continue to get it further seen? Also, for those that are not, if we're the commenters or the people that are engaging, that's the one thing that I would also say to everybody too, is if you're engaging with posts, take some time to comment. LinkedIn likes commenting more than it likes the likes and the thumbs up. Those are great, but LinkedIn responds to comments. And I will say, and I know a lot of people still don't have this, I do have it right now where I get to see what my impressions are on my comments right now. That is something that is coming. We know that rollouts are weird on LinkedIn, how they happen, when they happen. There's never an announcement. Like there's not a center place for that. But I have seen where I've gotten, especially in my LinkedIn news articles, my impression count is really high. I actually do value that, because that is a direct reflection also of like people that are seeing my name. And to me, that has a lot more value and a lot more importance, to be very honest with you, than even my post impressions. Thoughts on that, Roy or Shell?
Well, first, I wasn't making that face because you were boring me with the conversation. I was making that face.
I know why you were making that face.
Because I don't have the ability to see my comment impressions yet on desktop or mobile. And we heard that it was rolled out to almost everybody now, and I still don't have it, so I'm sad. And I have FOMO, and it's making me mad. But Roy, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
Well, first of all, there was one little piece that I left out a bit earlier on, and I want to just bring it back. And that is the time that we take to engage in other people's content. And when I say engage in other people's content, to say great post or love your work, that's not commenting. Meaningful commenting is referencing something about the post that resonated with you, or sharing something that can add to the post. So here's the percentage I wanted to share. Is in any one given hour on LinkedIn, I spend 15 minutes, that's 25%, on creating content, and 75% on engaging in other people's content. Let me repeat myself. For any one given hour that I spend on LinkedIn, 15 minutes content creation, 45 minutes engaging on other people's content in a meaningful way. So here's an interesting thing. You were talking about this percentage engagement. I'm lucky enough to have access to it.
Sorry, Shell.
In my that's 2 out of 3. Don't take it personally, Shell.
I'm in the bottom 33rd%. Okay.
So where I really spend a lot of time analyzing what I do is on my company page out there branding. And I got to tell you this, first of all, having a company page is a hard gig. Let me remind you, it's a damn hard gig, because LinkedIn does not give you any benefits. They want you to create a company page, but they don't help you. So I've been working really hard on building my company page. I started with 300 followers about nearly just over a year ago, and I'm up to close to 3,000 followers. I'm short of about 69, so 67 or 6 thereabouts. But here's what I wanted to share, is that I've been watching my engagement on my company page, and I get about 6 to 7%. This last week, I did a carousel around one of the LinkedIn lives that I did, 46% engagement compared to 5 to 6%.
I will say that is very impressive, Roy, because company pages, they're a whole beast in themselves. Mine is just like, it sounds bad. It's kind of like it's a free for all right now. I haven't really made a strategic plan. There's some things that I want to do with it. Once I get through the month of April, then I will be more. I'll be more focused at that point. But that also being said, yeah, I think that the key with the impressions, like I really, you're going to get it, Shell, because you eventually do. Now, I want to point out, though, you did get the revolving banner before I did. So you both had that before I had it. So that's also, I'm just saying it, that it was my turn to get something before you. So we'll just rotate. That's all. That's how we'll do it. But but engagement to me is really the key. Like I know, like I look at my numbers now, and truly I'm not surprised that my numbers are down because I'm not engaging as much as I normally do. My activity's been a lot less. I mean, I'm still posting, but I'm not kind of all in on my posting right now, to be very honest. I literally did 3 events on Sunday because my weekend got away from me. So, which is which I know kills, in terms of multiple posting, posting multiple things on any one given day. You're basically burying everything. But I had no choice just because of schedule wise. So, so I knew I was killing myself on Sunday by doing that. And so I'm not surprised that my numbers are down. Now, can I change those numbers to go in a more positive direction? Absolutely. And honestly, I always say if the numbers are down, go with the engagement side, because that's where you can start to have conversations. Gregory mentioned, that he had a lot of second, third degree connections, liking. Even the connection reactions, you can engage with those individuals, especially if they're second and third degree. Interact with them. Go, hey, thanks for liking my recent video. I have another video coming out. If you're interested, I'd love to send it to you. or invite them to an event. It doesn't have to be your event, but if they liked a certain topic or had a certain question, give them a resource. Be of a value to somebody as opposed to it just being a reaction or a comment. Shell, thoughts? Any other additional comments on this thread of conversation?
Yeah, I'm just one little addition with what Gregory said about seeing a lot of second and third degree connections liking and engaging with his posts or with his video. Um, that's something that I will call myself a LinkedIn creator now, that other LinkedIn creators are supporting. And we've seen posts to that, speaking to that, and actually training more people on it, especially from people like Jasmine Ali, talking about how it's invaluable. If you're here to grow, then engaging and following up with those second and third degree connections. It's not just about your immediate network. It's leveraging your network's network and really like thanking them for being there, because that's what's going to bring in more people and that's what's going to grow your audience base, and you want to show them love too. So yeah, like I fully am behind that, Mel. Fully support you reaching out and following up with your second, third connections that do engage with your posts, whether it's a like or a comment or any other information that you can see, because that's how you're going to grow. That's how you're going to reach more people.
So we hit 6:53. Not even a clue how that happened, when that happened. I'm going to try to plug in my laptop before it dies and I lose connection. So 1 second here.
No, while you're busy with that, I want to circle back onto something that we talk about regularly, but just a little reminder that you got to show up. When I say you've got to, I mean you got to make a choice on how you want to show up on LinkedIn. So first you make a choice. I want to get involved in LinkedIn. Number two, you decide straight up, what is your intentions? What do you want to hope to achieve out of it? And then you take a look at the triangle. And I'll tell you why it's important. Because what we've been speaking about now is all very well. Engagement is fantastic and DMs are wonderful. But if your profile is not clear as to who you are and what you want to be known for, people land on it and they're gone. And you've heard me say this a million times. I'm going to say one more time. When people leave your profile, they don't come back in 2 weeks' time and say, I wonder if Shell's fixed her profile up. Let me go back and have a look. No, they were gone. Gone. So make sure that your profile, make sure that you've got the clear intention that I'm giving myself as an example. 5 years ago, 6, 7, whatever it was, I used to wake up in the morning. Today I'm going to post. Today I'm going to post. This is what I've got. This is a fantastic thing. You should try this. Get hold of me. Here's my contact details. Let's try 0. And the next week I did the same thing. 0 multiplied by 0 is, Shell, can you help us over here? 0 multiplied by 0 is 0. Right. So here's my point.
That math I can do.
There we go. So there's my point. Make sure that your profile is properly optimized. Ask other people to help you. Ask them what they think. Ask them, what do you think that I actually do? Have a look at my profile. Don't ask your best friend. Don't ask someone that you know, but you're not that close to. Say to them, have a look at my profile. What do you think that I want to be known for? And action that. Number 2, post content consistently. You don't have to do it every single day. You don't have to do it 5 times a day, but make sure it's consistent. If you've decided to do it on Mondays and Wednesdays at 7:30 in the morning, then do it every week, Monday to Wednesdays, 7:30 in the morning. And thirdly, this third part of the triangle is the engagement that we've spoken about. Now, if you try and think that you can miss one of those out, profile, content, engagement, if you think you can miss one of those out and bypass it, guess what? You're going to come a cropper. You're going to come down the step ladder. So that, for me, is the absolute key essence of LinkedIn, is to make sure that you've got all of these in place. And all that varies is the level that you decide that you want to be involved in. How invested are you? What is your level? And the best level is your level, not my level. Everyone's got their own level. So get invested in what you're comfortable with. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Love
Yeah,
it.
and it's also worth like adding in that like whatever your level is, like however much time you decide to put in to LinkedIn every day, whether that's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, doesn't even matter. But however much time you are putting in, make that the most effective use of your time. Like, come here knowing what you're here to do. And it could be a little bit different every single day depending on what you're here to do, but you don't have to be doing all the things all the time. And you don't have to be spending hours upon hours. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality of your time and your energy.
Love it.
I'm shelling them out. I'll say it because I didn't know if people knew that I wrapped up there.
On that note, I'm just going to say it's 6:58, so we're going to wrap it up. And I'm just going to say a couple of things. So if you watch the replay, leave a comment. We see you, Mel Richards, so thank you for saying a quick hi. Leave a comment, let us know if you like what we're talking about. If like we're giving you something that you're like, wow, okay, I hadn't thought about that. You know, we do try to give you some different approaches than maybe what you're seeing out there in the feed. We're all three big believers of doing it your way, making it accessible in your own way. It's not there, there's a lot of cookie cutter approaches out there, and there's some, maybe tried and true practices. Yes, we understand that. We want to kind of, follow some parameters. Obviously, you have to just to know where to get started, but definitely um, let us know what you like, topics you want us to talk about in the future. We are going to take off next week, so we're not going to be here next week. Just need a little bit of a time refresh and get back on track. So it's going to be a light week next week. So for those that are expecting that, we won't be here next week. But we will be back starting in April, of course, with the new month. Hard to believe it's a new month. And yeah, on that note, I'm just going to wrap us up and say thank you guys. Thank you, Roy. Thank you, Shell, for your time. And thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. And we will be back in 2 weeks for LinkedIn 101, Becoming a LinkedIn Rock.